Weekdays, 8 a.m. Live, local. Your Fox 29 Morning News starts now.
All right, Lauren, thank you. It's 8:11. More than 150 banks failed last year. Florida had the most, and 40% of the banks in the state are troubled or problematic. So how do you make sure your money is safe? Shari Olefson is a lawyer and author of The Great American Do-Over, and she joins us this morning with some insight. Good morning, Shari. Thank you so much for being here.
It's so great to be here, John.
Boy, when you hear those words, they really put a little bit of fear in you. First of all, what does it mean when a bank fails?
Well, nowadays we have the FDIC. This is not the way it was during the Depression. And the FDIC normally comes in on a Friday. They'll take over a bank, and there's one of two ways that they do that. One is by a purchase and assumption, meaning they've already set up another bank to take over your prior bank, which is wonderful.
Right.
The other is a deposit payoff, meaning that they have not arranged for another bank to take over, and they're just going to pay you back your money.
So what happens to a customer's money most of the time?
Well, first thing will happen is the FDIC comes and takes over. Your deposits will be safe. You're insured for up to $250,000. Your deposits that are in transfer, and most of the time these are the purchase and assumptions, will be credited by the new bank, and it will be simply business as usual.
It used to be less than $250,000, right? It was like $100,000. So
and that's
they've
something,
upped it as
yes,
inflation has
and that's
gone.
something people need to keep in mind.
Right.
It happens to not be a problem. I have, but you want, right? It's a problem we all wish we had.
Right.
But you want to keep your deposits under that $250,000 limit. It does take a few days sometimes for the transition once there's a new bank taking over. So it's a good idea for all of us with hurricane season coming up to keep some cash on hand anyway. The other thing that's happening is your loans will not be impacted. So your payment should still go to the same place unless you're directed otherwise by the FDIC. There are a lot of scam artists out there now who are looking for these takeovers, and they send letters out to people whose bank has been taken over telling them to send them the payments. So you want to be careful. Only send your payments to your bank.
All right, good idea. What about interest rates? I mean, does the customer continue to draw interest?
Your interest rate is not changed. Everything's business as usual. If it's a purchase and assumption, the new bank can change the rate if they want, but if you're not happy, you can cash out whatever your investment was, and this time with no penalty. So if you had a CD with a certain maturity rate and the new bank changes the rate, you can just cash your money out. There's no penalty for withdrawing.
And Social Security checks, business as usual. You don't have to worry.
Yes, all your direct deposits will go directly into the same bank. Your safe deposit account, your safe deposit boxes will be available within a day or two. So as long as it's a purchase and assumption, it's business as usual.
All right, that's a lot of great information. Bottom line it for us. What can you do to protect yourself? How do you go about doing that?
Well, two things. You can be watching out what's happening with your bank, and you can do that the official way on the FDIC website. I love this tool, FDIC.gov. You can actually register for a newsletter. It goes out every Friday, and it lets you know which banks are in trouble. Or you can do it the unofficial way. Just sort of watch for big layoffs, branch closings, things like that.
Turn on Fox 29 News or Channel 5 News and
watch John.
Check it out there. Yeah. Watch us. We'll let you know. All right, Shari, thank you so much for joining us today. A lot of good information. Hope you were keeping tabs. Lauren, back over to you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Shari. We're going to